Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Chicago Bulls and Washington Wizards. As the Chicago Bulls square off against the Washington Wizards in this intriguing NBA in-season tournament matchup, we're gearing up for a showdown that promises buckets galore. The game highlights a stark contrast between Chicago's high-octane offense and Washington's porous defense, a recipe for fireworks on the scoreboard. Let's dive into what makes this matchup tick. The Bulls, sitting at 7-11, are powered by an offense that ranks among the league's elite. Dropping 117.4 points a night, Chicago thrives on spacing and sharpshooting, ranking third in three-point attempts while hitting at the 4th highest clip. With nearly 42% of their points coming from deep, the Bulls live and die by the long ball, a strategy that's paid dividends when their shooters are dialed in. Leading the charge are Nikola Vucevic and Zach LaVine, a dynamic duo averaging over 20 points each. They're not just putting up numbers, they're doing it efficiently, shooting a combined 54.8% from the floor and a scorching 45.3% from downtown. When these two are locked in, Chicago's offense is an unstoppable force. But as potent as their scoring is, their defense often lets them down. The Bulls are dead last in points allowed, surrendering a staggering 123.9 points per game. Their up-tempo style leaves them vulnerable, giving opponents ample opportunities to rack up shots. Add in their struggles defending the paint, and Chicago often finds itself in shootouts where their offensive brilliance gets overshadowed by defensive lapses. On the flip side, the Wizards are reeling. At 2-13 and riding an 11-game skid, Washington's season has been a nightmare, largely due to their defensive woes. They're coughing up an eye-popping 122.9 points per game, with 7 of their last 11 opponents torching them for 120-plus points. It's hard to win games when you can't get stops, and that's been Washington's Achilles heel. Offensively, the Wizards have flash potential but lack consistency. Jordan Poole has been their lone bright spot, pacing the team with 21.2 points and 4.9 assists per game while hitting 44.3% from deep. Despite his efforts, inefficiency plagues the team, ranking near the bottom in both three-point shooting and field goal percentage. Their inability to capitalize on scoring opportunities often undercuts whatever momentum they build. For Chicago, this game is tailor-made to exploit Washington's defensive gaps. Vucevic and LaVine should have a field day, especially if the Wizards fail to contest the arc effectively. The Bulls also need to dominate the boards to prevent second-chance points and limit Washington's offensive rebounds. The Wizards' path to success lies in slowing the pace and hammering the paint, where the Bulls are vulnerable. Jonas Valanciunas could be the X factor, leveraging his size to attack inside. Meanwhile, Poole's hot hand from deep will need to stay sizzling to keep Washington competitive. To snap their losing streak, the Wizards must take care of the ball and improve their shot selection, non-negotiables for a team searching for a lifeline. This matchup sets the stage for a fast-paced, high-scoring affair, with both teams struggling to clamp down defensively. But Chicago's offensive firepower and lethal three-point shooting give them the clear upper hand. While the Wizards might find some success pounding the paint, their inability to defend the perimeter spells trouble against a Bulls squad that thrives from distance. These squads have been neck-and-neck in recent matchups. In their last 5 clashes at the Wizards' home court, 4 of those battles came down to the wire, with the victor edging out by fewer than 4 points. I'm not saying this matchup won't come down to the wire, but the Bulls have been road warriors this season, thriving away from the Windy City. On the flip side, the Wizards don't seem to care much for home court advantage, or any advantage for that matter, as their struggles look the same whether they're in DC or on the road. Can the Wizards pull off an upset here? Sure, it's the NBA and crazier things have happened, but I wouldn't bet the house on it. Personally, I'm riding with the Bulls to keep their momentum rolling and handle the 4-point spread with confidence. The second prediction for today is for a game between the Milwaukee Bucks and Miami Heat. We've got an exciting Eastern Conference showdown brewing in Miami as the Bucks roll into town to face the Heat. Both squads didn't exactly light it up to start the season, but they're starting to hit their stride. This matchup feels like one of those gritty games that comes down to execution in the final minutes. Let's talk about the Bucks first. They're finally shaking off that slow start and riding a solid 4-game winning streak. What's impressive about this run is how their offense has clicked into gear, putting up a blistering 119.3 points per game during the stretch. Giannis is doing what Giannis does best, dominating in every aspect of the game. He's leading the league in scoring with 32.4 points per night, and even with that calf issue, you know he'll suit up and make his presence felt. Add Damian Lillard to the mix, and you've got a 1-2 punch that's as lethal as it gets. But let's not sugarcoat it. Milwaukee hasn't exactly faced a murderer's row during this win streak. Beating the Rockets, Bulls, Pacers, and Hornets all at home doesn't scream invincible. Now, heading into Miami, the Bucks face a different beast, especially considering they've dropped 6 of their last 7 games there. On the flip side, Miami is quietly building some momentum of its own. They've won 3 of their last 4, including statement victories over the Sixers and Mavericks. The Heat are starting to find their rhythm offensively, cracking 120 points in a couple of those wins. Tyler Herro has been lights out, leading the charge with his sharpshooting and playmaking. He's averaging over 23 points per game and looks like the go-to guy Miami needs. Bam Adebayo, meanwhile, continues to anchor the defense, and you can count on Jimmy Butler to bring that signature grit, especially when he's tasked with slowing down Lillard. The Heat's defense is their calling card, as always. They're top 10 in points allowed, and their physical style is the kind that can frustrate even a powerhouse like Milwaukee. Miami's been at home for a few games now, and while their home court doesn't always scream intimidating, the rest factor can't be ignored. Plus, the Bucks' struggles at the free throw line could become a factor if Miami's defense gets aggressive. This game feels like a chess match. Giannis and Lillard are going to do their thing, but Milwaukee needs someone else to step up and hit big shots, especially from deep. The Heat, on the other hand, have to keep Giannis from owning the paint, and that starts with Adebayo's effort on defense. If Butler can make life tough for Dame and Herro stays hot, Miami's got a real shot to take this one. The Milwaukee Bucks have been on a bit of a roll lately, snagging victories in 6 of their last 7 games, and sure, that might make them seem like an intriguing underdog pick tonight. But if you dig a little deeper, I'm not sold on the hype. Out of those 6 wins, only the Rockets sport a winning record, so let's not crown them just yet. It's hard for me to back the Bucks when they're stepping up against a proven squad like the Miami Heat. The Heat, meanwhile, are in a groove, fresh off impressive wins against the 76ers and Mavericks. This matchup feels like the perfect opportunity for them to keep that momentum rolling. So, while Milwaukee's streak has been nice and their firepower is undeniable, Miami has the edge with their physicality, defensive schemes, and just enough scoring punch to hold down the fort. Expect this one to be tight, but I'm rolling with the Heat to protect the home court and snag a hard-fought win.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The third prediction for today is for a game between the Houston Rockets and Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves and Rockets are gearing up for a showdown with some serious NBA Cup implications, and it's a clash of contrasting vibes. Houston's been the league's pleasant surprise, sitting pretty at 12-6 and holding it down as the 3rd seed in the West. Their defense has been lights out, ranked 2nd in efficiency, keeping them afloat even when their offense sputters, like in their rough shooting night during a 104-98 loss to Portland. Sengun is the glue for the squad, putting up double-doubles like clockwork, while Jalen Green leads the scoring effort, though their three-point game has been ice-cold at 28th in the league. Houston's starting five has been rock solid, with Van Vliet, Brooks, Smith Jr., Sengun, and Green rolling out together almost every night. Toss in Tari Eason's energy off the bench, and they've got depth. With no injuries in sight, their Rockets are locked and loaded, ready to bounce back. Minnesota at 8-8 has been all over the map. They've held it down at home with a 5-2 record, but covering spreads, not their strong suit. Anthony Edwards has been a bright spot, putting the team on his back with nearly 28 a night. He almost pulled off some late-game heroics against Boston, but the Wolves came up just short. Offensively, they're efficient and deadly from deep, hitting nearly 38%, but their defense has been middle of the pack, and they've struggled to play the favorite role on their home floor. The stakes? Massive. Houston leads Group A at 2-0, while Minnesota's sitting in a three-way tie at 1-1. Another loss likely knocks the Wolves out of contention, while a Rockets win could punch their ticket to the next round. For Minnesota, it's all about locking in defensively and cleaning up turnovers. For Houston, fixing their long-range struggles and letting Sengun cook in the paint could be the difference. This one's got all the makings of a dogfight. The Wolves will scrap to protect their house, but Houston's defense-first identity and consistent lineup might just tip the scales. Expect a grinded-out kind of game, with every possession counting. The Timberwolves usually get the edge at home, and on paper, they seem to have the tools to handle a squad like the Rockets. But let's be real, losing 5 of their last 7 games isn't exactly a glowing endorsement. Sure, they've got the muscle to challenge Alperen Sengun in the paint and can try to counter with Julius Randle's physicality, but this Houston team, they're young, hungry, and showing all the signs of a squad on the rise. The Rockets have been balling out lately, going 7-3 straight up and against the spread in their last 10. They've got the momentum, and honestly, they're more than capable of snatching this game outright. That said, I'm rolling with Houston to cover the 4-point spread here. They're playing too well to bet against right now. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Phoenix Suns. The in-season tournament keeps heating up, and this Lakers-Suns matchup is set to bring the fireworks. Both squads are stacked with stars, but they've got something to prove, making this game a can't-miss for hoopheads and bettors alike. The Lakers came out of the gates strong this season, looking like a well-oiled machine under coach J.J. Redick. Redick's player-first approach has built trust, and the chemistry is showing on the floor. Anthony Davis is in MVP form, putting up a ridiculous 30.1 points and 11.1 boards a night while shooting 55% from the field. Meanwhile, LeBron continues to laugh in the face of Father Time, leading the squad on both ends. Rookie Dalton Connect has been a pleasant surprise, dropping double digits and giving the rotation a nice spark. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing. After a 6-game heater, the Lakers hit a rough patch, dropping back-to-back games at home. First, Franz Wagner stunned them with a buzzer beater for Orlando, then Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets rolled into town and handed them a 25-point beatdown. The common thread? A shaky defense that's been one of the league's worst, and that's something they'll need to clean up fast. The Suns, on the other hand, started the season with plenty of hype around their big three of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. But injuries have thrown a wrench into their plans. Durant's out for a couple more weeks, and Beal's day-to-day status has left Booker carrying the load. He's been phenomenal, dropping 33 in their last outing, but the supporting cast hasn't done enough. Phoenix is stuck in a 5-game skid, falling to tough teams like the Thunder, Knicks, Magic, and Timberwolves. Their defense has been a problem, ranking 21st in the league and giving up 115.3 points per 100 possessions. Offensively, they're just okay, sitting at 14th in the league. The good news? They've had some time off since November 20th to regroup, and that rest might be exactly what they need to get back on track. When these two squads hit the floor, expect a high-octane battle. The Lakers are 10-6, but inconsistent, just 7 of 9 against the spread, while the Suns are 9-7 and, even worse, 5 of 11 against the spread. Both teams have shown a tendency to play in high-scoring games recently, with the total going over in 2 of their last 3 contests. Given the Lakers' defensive struggles and the Suns' inability to lock down opponents, this one feels like another shootout waiting to happen. Personally, I'm all about the points here. With the Suns rested and Booker ready to ball, and the Lakers hungry to bounce back, both teams should light it up. The over 233 points look like the play to me. This isn't going to be a defensive clinic, but it's going to be fun, fast-paced, and full of buckets.